interaction is concerned, I have started the very first slide for interaction. What you can do, you can write answer in message by writing question number 1 and yes or no. Most of the answers are in the form of yes or no, and in some cases you have to give your order of preference for some issues which I have listed here. So you can take your time and you can answer them. So this is how I am starting with the interaction. Actually, the topic which I have been given is somewhat a big topic. If you can see the topic, climate change, pollution, waste management, and biodiversity. So it's altogether a very big topic, and we can speak on these issues for hours and hours. But still, I would like to go very fast and share with you some very pertinent issues. You see, the participants which we have
Sir,
today. Yes.
excuse me, sir, the slide is not visible. The
Is
first
it?
slide where the questions.
Yes, yes. Now it should be visible. Now it should be visible.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
If you can take a screenshot or something like that, it's not compulsory to answer. Just I would like to hit upon your mind that what are the different issues? Are we concerned with those issues or not? Now, we are teachers from different subject areas and at different positions. Someone are assistant professors, some are associate professors, some may be professor. But for example, me as a professor discussing with you, but I have also been an assistant professor and associate professor. So it's a hierarchy. Each of us has to go through different stages. तो दिल खुश हुआ है नए दीवानों को देखकर, हम भी ऐसे ही थे जब आए थे वीराने में. So it's all progress with time. My subject area is geology, that is earth science, but I am teaching in the Department of Civil Engineering. In civil engineering, when we go for construction of dams and tunnels, we have to have a basic idea of engineering geology. So my subject area is engineering geology, though my research area is sedimentology. And in geology, we normally discuss different aspects of the Earth system. So with that background, let's hit the very first point of my topic, that is climate change. Do we believe in climate change? Is there a climate change? Have we ourselves felt that climate is not what we had in our childhood days? Is it a news? Is it a hoax? Or is it a fact? Now, if you can see in all my slides, almost in all my slides, you will find newspaper cuttings. And most of the newspaper cuttings, they also have date. So what I am going to share with you, I am going to share with you the very common thing which used to come in the newspaper and the media. Nothing very deep and nothing very serious, but what we have to have all around us in our daily life, that I would like to touch upon. So climate change is there. It was first reported in 1978 by some scientists of US National Academy of Science. United Nations have accepted this as a issue, as a problem in 2007. And what was the most important thing is that this climate change is influenced by anthropogenic activities. That is, human beings, they have actually affecting our natural system of climate, and they are trying to change it unknowingly, but you can also say knowingly, because the main cause of climate change is the burning of fossil fuel, which we are doing every day without any second thought given to that issue. The earth is the only home for us. We cannot escape this earth system. So it is our home. It is up to us, the human beings, to make this home livable. The onus lies with the humanity because we cannot go anywhere else. People are trying to see options at Moon and Mars, but it is a very, very remote thinking. It will not be easy. And even if it is easy, it will be for 1, 2, or 5 or 10 persons, not more than that. Where else our population will go? We cannot go to any other planet because the temperatures, because the atmosphere, because the absence of water on all these planets, they are not going to help us for living. So, as of today, the Earth is the living planet and it is the haven for not only humanity but also for all the life forms. All the life forms, they are finding their havens in this planet that is Earth. Now it is up to us that uh, we keep this Earth as a haven, not make this as a hell. Now the Earth system is covered by different spheres. If you see the Earth, we have atmosphere around us in which we have different gases. We have biosphere, that is the life system which we have. We have water, that is hydrosphere in the form of ice, water vapor, and liquid. We have topmost layer of the earth, which is called as lithosphere, which is almost 200 kilometer thick. Below that, we have asthenosphere, which is almost 800 kilometer thick. And then rest 5,371 kilometer is termed as barysphere. Now, the human beings, atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, asthenosphere, and barysphere, these geospheres have been created by nature, by God, and it constitutes our environment. But what humanity has done, it has made a one more sphere that is called as built sphere or technosphere. This built sphere and technosphere has been made by humanity and at the cost of atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. We have taken material from lithosphere, we have taken material from hydrosphere, we have taken material from biosphere, we have taken material from atmosphere, and we have created the built sphere. We have created the built sphere. Now, in doing this, we have played havoc with the hydrosphere and atmosphere, especially. And these two spheres, they provide us fluids on which our survival is happening. That is oxygen and water. We have made hydrosphere and atmosphere both as a dustbin. We have made them to be a dustbin. All our waste we are putting either into hydrosphere or we are putting into atmosphere. Now, climate change is a long-term phenomenon. It's not a short-term phenomenon. The weather change is not a climate change. Other different seasons which we have in the different regions of our country or different parts of the world, that is not a climate change. That is a regular change of weather and season because of rotation of the earth around the sun. Now, if you go into geological sciences, from the beginning of the earth, that is somewhere around 4,550 million years, till today, many times climate has changed. Many times climate have changed, and this change has taken in millions of years. 1 million years is equal to 10 lakhs. The latest climate change which we had was 2 million years back. That is 20 lakh years back. But the climate change which we are talking as of now, that has taken only 200 years. That has taken only 200 years, and it has been felt by many in many different ways. For example, the Roger Federer, when he lost to an Australian John Millman, he blamed the excessive heat in the court area, the big melt. Roger Federer has finally met his match, that is global warming. So, the excessive heating which is taking place, that is a cause of concern. In Australia, in 2019, at some places, temperature has reached 49 degree centigrade. It was so high that people have made omelette in the sunshine. Now, at the same time, in America, in 2019, the temperature has gone so low, that is minus 40 degree, that everything has got frozen. If you can see this picture, and you will find some jeans pant, these jeans pant are standing in the ground without men or women into it. They were frozen, and they have become hard enough to stand alone without any human body. So the climate change is not only warming, it can be cooling also, it can be excessive rain also, it can be change in the wind pattern also. So the record which we have with us, some of the records are direct records which have been taken from using thermometers. That is somewhere from 1750 to present, we have direct record, which we have got by thermometer. That is, thermometer installed at different places by different weather meteorological organizations. They have kept the record, and what they have said, that temperature has risen, and also in some part of the time it has gone down also. Apart from these direct evidences, we have some indirect evidences. Indirect evidences when there was no thermometer, but the weather was there, the climate was there. So scientists have used some other parameters which we call indirect parameters or proxy parameters to understand that what has happened with the climate change. Now, if you can see this graph, 1850 to 1880, the temperature has gone up. 1890 to 1900, the temperature has gone down. From 1910 to 1940, the temperature has again gone up. Then again it has come down from 1940 to 1950. And then again from 1950 to 1970, it has risen. And again from 1980 to present, the temperature is rising with the maximum inclination. If you see the line, this is having maximum angle, maximum inclination. So the rise of temperature has increased with time, with a cooling period somewhere between 1880 to 1900. So the temperature has risen from 1860 to 1880 by 1 degree, 1910 to 1940, 1.5 degree, and from 1975 to 2005, 1.9 degree. And presently it is being thought that the temperature is rising by 2 degrees centigrade as of today. So climate change, is it a natural or anthropogenic? That is a bone of contention. Many scientists say that it is very natural that climate will change, but then lot of scientists are saying that the climate change is not natural, but it is affected by humanity. So this is the issue, that how to prove that the climate change is natural or anthropogenic. Scientists, they try to do different tests, they try to propose, then they can refute, they can renew their findings as scientific inquiry progress. So in last almost 50 years or so, what we have learned about the climate change, that is going to come into the coming uh, slides. Now, the most important natural factor which can change our climate. Now, climate change, when it is going to warm, that is going to create more problem for humanity rather than if it is going to get somewhat cool. So the natural causes can be solar insolation. Whatever heat we have, it is because of sun rays which are coming to our earth surface. So if something happens in the sun, that can also increase the temperature by half degree, by 1 degree, or by 1.5 degree. Then the sun rays which come on the earth's surface as a short wave radiation, when they go back as a long wave radiation, they are trapped by greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are present in our atmosphere in the form of water vapor, carbon dioxide, CH4, N2O, and SO2, nitrous oxide and sulfur dioxide. Now, these gases may be natural, and we have also added into atmosphere some gases which we have created by burning fossil fuel. Whatever atmospheric gases we have, they are the result of volcanism. The earth has got lot of volcanic activity since its inception, and these gases have actually come from earth's interior, and they have been held up by our gravity. So depending upon our force of gravity, some of the gases are held up, in which we have maximum nitrogen followed by oxygen and then carbon dioxide, methane. Now, the percentage of carbon dioxide is only 0.039, 0.039, and CH4 is 0.0012. But these two gases, which are less than 0.04%, their increase can create havoc with the Earth's planet system. Now, scientists, they have studied and they have said that from last different decades, there is a 11-year cycle in which solar activity increases, which results into somewhat of extra heating of the Earth. Now, greenhouse gases. If you remove all the greenhouse gases, then the temperature of the Earth will go down by minus, it will go to minus 18 degrees centigrade. That means if we take average temperature of the Earth to be 15 degrees centigrade, it will go down by 33 degrees centigrade to minus 18 degrees centigrade if we remove all the greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases, they are part and parcel of our atmospheric system. But any increase beyond the limit is going to create problem for the Earth system. Venus, for example, has 97% carbon dioxide, and because of that, the temperature at the surface of the Venus is 480 degrees centigrade. So there is a concept of solar radiation coming to the Earth, going back into the atmosphere, trapped by greenhouse gases, and it warms the Earth, which is, of course, a very important aspect. Now, another natural factor which can change our temperature system, that is Earth's rotation on its axis, which results into day and night. The Earth's axis is tilted to almost 22 degree. Now, if the tilt is changed, just imagine if this angle is changed, then of course the sun insolation will change latitude wise, and you will have different temperatures. So that can also be a cause of warming or cooling, warming at some places, cooling at other places. Now, the 2004 Indonesia earthquake, which led to the development of tsunami, and 2011 Japan earthquake, which also led to the tsunami. These tsunami in the oceans, Pacific oceans, they are being thought to have changed the Earth's inclination, Earth's rotational axis inclination from 22.1 degree to 21.5 degree. So, if this has happened, then of course there will be some effect on our global temperature. Apart from this, sometimes we have solar activity on the suns, which is called as sun spot activity. When sun spot activity increases, then the sun releases more heat, more energy, which will, of course, affect the overall temperature of different planets, including the Earth. But the scientists have done different cosmogenic isotopic studies, and they have said that its role is minor. Its role is minor, not a major role. Now, again, we have to come back to the greenhouse gas production. Now, what is greenhouse? Greenhouse is being used by botanists or by agriculturists to make a glass house in which they grow plants. When you make a glass house and put plant into this glass house traps carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxides are beneficial for the plants, so plants start growing bit faster. Nowadays, we are producing greenhouses by using plastic sheets. Many of the nurseries, many of the uh, what you call uh, seed production agencies, they use these greenhouses. So you can understand what exactly the greenhouse is. Now, here, so, what you call the greenhouse gas is increasing because of burning of fossil fuel. That is the major issue. Now, what is fossil fuel? Fossil fuel is coal and oil, which nature has buried under the ground. The coal is buried under the ground some 350 million years back. Oil has been put under the ground some 300 million years back till today. Now, what we are doing, we are extracting coal and oil and we are burning. So, what nature has buried, we are exposing them. Now, when you have more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, then the biggest sink, the biggest absorber of carbon dioxide is ocean, as well as plants, as well as organisms. Now, when ocean start dissolving carbon dioxide, they produce calcium carbonate, and this calcium carbonate is converted into different kinds of shells. Also, calcium carbonate is deposited into the sea as a limestone, which we use for making cement. Cement is used by crushing limestone. Limestone forms under the ocean. Ocean is actually the biggest sink of carbon dioxide. But with the time, when ocean acidification has increased, because of absorbance of this much of carbon dioxide, it has become highly acidic, and now it is absorbing less carbon dioxide. Now, if it is absorbing less carbon dioxide, that means in the atmosphere we have more and more carbon dioxide. And because of this, the greenhouse gas, the contribution of carbon dioxide is more. So that is also increasing the temperature. So if you can see the graph, with the increase in ocean heating, carbon dioxide is also increasing. Okay. So ocean acidification is creating a problem. Now, why we are fearing? Why we fear the global warming? Because of global warming, the ice will start melting. And if the ice starts melting, then all our coastal areas, all our small islands, they will be submerged in water. That is the biggest issue. Now, this issue is linked with the melting of glaciers in the mountains, melting of the glaciers in Arctic and Antarctica, Greenland, and so on and so forth. Not only melting, even simple warming of the ocean water will increase the sea level. If you boil water into a utensil, the volume of water will increase because of heating. So, simple heating can increase the sea level. So, if you can see this diagram in which different ways of sea level rise has been shown. Melting of glacier, land water storage, melt from Antarctica, melt from Greenland, thermal expansion of water below 200 meters from the mean sea level, and thermal expansion from surface to 2000 meters. Now, if you can see this graph, the biggest contribution is thermal expansion in top 2000 meters of the sea surface. Okay. So, even if there is no melting of glacier, the sea level will rise. And if the sea level rises, then you will always have a problem of global sea level rise and drowning of the coastal areas. Now, I am trying to play a video which is perhaps not playing. Uh, can somebody tell me what this picture shows? Can anybody speak that what this picture is? Can somebody speak that what this picture is depicting?
It's about the globe.
About the globe, what else?
And the atmosphere around it.
Can anyone link this diagram with anything? Asif Saab? Asif Saab, if you want to answer. Asif Saab, you have raised hand. If you can answer.
Maybe with the environmental change.
You see,
No,
this
no.
is a
The
picture.
land is actually at the same position. Means they are not
You,
separated.
you see, this is you must be having in your mind the present distribution of continents and countries and ocean. This is a picture. The Earth was 65 million years back. The Earth was 65 million years back in this position. Now, if you make a central line of equator, then you have Africa more than half into southern hemisphere. So the climate must also be different at that time. So what I want to tell you that when the Earth's different continents, when they were one together 65 million years back, and then 130 million years back, then 2.5 billion years back, the Earth's continent have changed their position. This is a theory which is called as theory of plate tectonics. Theory of plate tectonics. This theory of plate tectonics is the result of another theory that is called as continental drift theory. There was a theory, continental drift theory by Alfred Wegener, which was rejected in 1915, but finally, after Second World War, it was accepted, and now it is known as plate tectonic theory. Whatever earthquake we have, whatever volcanism we have, it is all linked with the plate tectonic theory. So today, this plate tectonic operation is going on still today. India has traveled almost 6,000 kilometers from southern latitudes to present. 6,000 kilometers it has traveled in last 65 million years and has come into present position. So if a continent has moved across the latitudes, its climate will change. Its climate will change. But this change is at the level of tens of millions of years. Tens of millions of years. So that is altogether different thing. What we are discussing today is the climate change which has taken place in last 200 years. Different continents, they are moving in different direction. Their direction of movement has been measured. Their velocity has been measured when we have invented the GPS and satellites. With the invention of satellites in the space and GPS on the ground, now we can measure the movement of each and every plate. Each plate is moving at the rate of 5 to 15 centimeter per year. Each of our continent. So if they are moving, then climate change will also be there. Now, apart from direct data which we have, there are some proxy data. For example, scientists have collected diaries of farmers which were preserved in their houses, and they have data from 1370 to 1879 of different temperatures. So they have collated and compared this data with the direct data. Another important thing, that is proxy evidence, that is glacier length and thickness. Now, if you can see this picture, you will find a huge rock block. This huge rock block is called as erratic. This huge rock block is called as erratic. Now, this rock which you are seeing as a white colored rock is not found in nearby areas. It is found somewhere 30 kilometers away from this place. So who brought this rock? Who brought this much huge rock block at this place? This is the evidence that somewhere in the past, the glacier have moved up to this place, and it is glacier which can bring this much big size rocks naturally at any place. So you must be knowing that 2 million years back, we had Pleistocene glaciation, which is called as Ice Age. If you are fond of seeing movies, then there is a movie called as Ice Age. It has 5 volumes. All of you should see Ice Age, which has 5 volumes, 5 editions. So if you see these movies, you will appreciate what I am discussing with you or what I am talking with you. So ice was there, which is called as Pleistocene glaciation. And as per geological change in the weather and climate and season, we are going to have another ice age in coming few million years. We are presently living in an interglacial period. Scientifically, another cold period has to come. But seeing the present day global warming, we are not sure as of now. But what I say, that global warming will lead to the global cooling. Global warming will lead to the global cooling. ये मेरा statement है. Global warming will lead to the global cooling. How you can think of, and we can discuss afterwards. But this is my contention. Now, if you can see these 2 pictures, the right hand side picture I have taken in Sonmarg in 2010. You can see a huge rock block here also. And there is a tea stall also. There is a small tea stall just at the bottom. So you can gauge the size. This is again an erratic, which has been brought by glaciers at this place. But there is no glacier big enough as of today, which can be taken as the glacier which has brought it. But you can see in the background valley in which small snouts of glaciers are there, and you can see the U-shaped valley. Any U-shaped valley means a valley carved out by the glaciers. So this is another example of erratic which I have myself. Now, if you can see the left side picture, somewhere in Italy, they have taken picture of a mountain, of a hill, which is having ice at the same time of the year, same month and same time of the same date of the year. So you can see that the amount of ice present in 1912, then 1970, then 2000, and then 2006. What is happening? The ice is getting reduced and reduced. Why? Global warming. Another scientist group, what they have done, they have studied the rocks which are hanging in the caves from the roof and the rocks which are growing from the floor of the cave. They are called as stalactite and stalagmite. These are calcium carbonate deposits. And if you study the oxygen isotope, you can work out the temperature. So this is a scientific study of stalactite and stalagmites, and the study has shown that from 1500 to 2000, overall temperature has gone up. Then scientists have taken out the ice cores from the glaciers, especially from Antarctica and Arctic and Greenland, from where they have taken out ice core up to 3.6 kilometer deep. These ice cores, they have trapped oxygen. They have trapped gases of the atmosphere when that ice was formed. So scientists are taking out those gases and they are studying that what is the percentage of nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, what is the age of that ice, and they are telling us that how with time the atmospheric composition has changed, and that has also resulted into the global warming. So almost they have record of 4,20,000 years from the ice core. And that study has suggested from the ice cores that the global temperature has remained same from 1600 to 1850, and then from 1850 it has started rising. There was a drop in the temperature somewhere in 1970s, and again it has started. Why there was a drop in 1970s? We will come to that point. Then scientists have studied the plant rings. Each plant develops two rings per year, one in the winter, one in the summer. The dark rings, they are grown in winters, and the light rings, which are thicker, they are grown in summers. So if you can count the number of rings and divide by 2, you can work out the age of the tree. The centralmost part is the oldest, the outermost part is the youngest. Sorry, the outermost part is the oldest and innermost part is the youngest. Scientists have taken out hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen, and they have studied the isotopes of these, and they have predicted that overall temperature has gone up with a little ice age, a little cooling from 1800 to 1825. So not only carbon dioxide, but methane has also gone up. If we study the last 800 years, you can see the graph that in last 800 to last almost 50 years, the percentage of carbon dioxide and CH4 has gone up and gone down, gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down, just like our angiograph. But in last 20 years, if you can see, the rise is almost vertical. The rise is almost vertical. So after clubbing all this data, whatever data we can have, maybe instrumental data, maybe reconstruction from proxy methods from 1000 to 1980, reconstruction of last 40 years, and the direct evidences, the overall temperature has been increasing and decreasing. And finally, in last 50 years or 70 years, if you can see, the temperature is rising just like a hockey stick. So it is a very famous paper by McCritic from Canada in 2003. His paper is known as hockey stick paper because he has shown that in last 75 years, just like a hockey, you have lower toe and upper stem, which has increased. So now it has been proved that whatever global temperature rise is there, it is because of anthropogenic activity, especially because of increase in greenhouse gases. तो ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद जमी सेक रहे हैं हम. It is, we should not blame the nature, but it is our own folly. Now, why we fear climate change? Why we fear climate change? There are some obvious reasons and there are some less obvious reasons. Obvious reasons, जो कि बहुत major reasons हैं, which make us to fear the climate change, and there are some less obvious reasons. So what is obvious reasons? Global warming, melting of ice, more runoff, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather conditions, sea level rise, increase in agriculture produce. Climate rise, temperature rise means because of greenhouse gases, the trees may find it helpful. What is less obvious ones? Local to regional migrations, increase in certain diseases, thermohaline conveyor. Ocean surface temperature is going to change, which results into formation of El Nino and La Nina. Changed agriculture pattern, crop failure, animal migration, ecological imbalances, and then crop loss due to extreme weather. Those from North India, they must have seen that just a week before, there was just a 3 days before, perhaps, there was an excessive rain. And just 2 days back, what has happened in Dubai? Dubai doob gayi. Dubai doob gayi. They are calling it biblical flooding. What do you mean by biblical flooding? I have taken this cutting up from yesterday's newspaper. What is biblical flooding? What is biblical flooding? Anyone?
So it's about the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. Prophet Noah was
प्रॉफेट नूह
mentioned.
अलैहिस्सलाम. सिर्फ नूह ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. सिर्फ नूह ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. So we have extreme events. We have extreme and freak weather events. Not only in India, not only in Middle East, but all around the world. May it be Japan, may it be US, may it be Shanghai, Taiwan, wherever. The global temperature has risen so much that ACs have stopped working in Shanghai. People have to come out of their houses and sleep in the open because ACs have failed to work. So whenever there is a climate change, there is lot of extreme weather situations. You can see these pictures. These pictures, they are depicting what has happened this rainy season in Maharashtra and in Himachal Pradesh and in Uttarakhand. Now, to check this issue, what has happened? क्या हुआ क्या? What is being done? So government of the world, United Nations, they have started discussing this issue and they have started calling international conferences where head of the states, they had to come, they started coming, their delegation used to come. They have started discussing way back from 1972 when the first environment conference had happened in Stockholm in Sweden. From 1972 onward, it is happening. I am listing only from 1997. I have left the other conferences because there is not much space and time. So Kyoto Climate Conference, which is a very famous one, from Kyoto to Hague to Marrakesh to New Delhi to Buenos Aires and so on and so on. Durban, Qatar Climate Conference, then Cancun and UN Climate Conference, Durban. Then you come to 2018 in Seoul, South Korea, then Katowice in Poland in 2018. COP, Conference of Parties, means Conference of Different Countries, 2019. And then in 2020, there was no climate conference because of COVID. Again, they have mustered strength to have a climate conference in 2021, which has happened in Glasgow, Scotland. And people have said, they have started saying that these conferences, they are not going to help us. They are just meeting and then getting dispersed without any concrete decision. The latest tell the truth. Even the truth is not being told. Dishonesty and falsehood are the reasons why 3 decades of climate negotiations have achieved little, deafening noises and muted outcomes. We talk a lot, we discuss a lot, but no result is coming up which is of any help to the Mother Earth. Then in 2022, it was in Egypt. You can yourself understand by seeing this cartoon, which has come up in different platforms of media. We need to replace all this gobbledygook with mumbo jumbo. यानी एक से एक रिपोर्ट तैयार हो जाती हैं. They make a very big report. They come up with some slogans. They come up with some catchy words, but no concrete solution on the ground. Then we had last year in UAE closed with an agreement that signals the beginning of the end of the fossil fuel era by laying the ground for a swift, just and equitable transition underpinned by deep emission cuts and scaled up finances. Just listen the words, but no ground action. Next is going to be held in Brazil. Next is to be in Brazil. Sorry, Azerbaijan. Sorry, 29th in Azerbaijan and 30th will be in Brazil. And they have mission roadmap to mission 1.5 degrees centigrade to significantly enable and enhance international cooperation for implementation over this critical decade and keeping 1.5 degrees centigrade within reach. Now, what is 1.5 degrees centigrade? ये 1.5 degree centigrade का issue क्या है? The issue is that we should by 2050 check our global warming less than 1.5 degree, because as of now it is touching 2 degrees centigrade. And if we don't check, if it goes 2 degrees centigrade or beyond, then it is going to affect us very dangerously. So why half a degree is a big deal? 1.5 to 2 degree. Only the problem is of 0.5 degree. Why it is so big deal? Next 12 years. Because if 6% of insect and 8% of plants and 4% of vertebrates are going to lose, then in 2 degrees centigrade, 6 will increase to 18, 8 will increase to 16, and 4 will increase to 8. Means the losses will be double just because of rise by half degree centigrade. So that's why the efforts are, of course, on the paper, of course, on the tongues, but not on the ground, to check the temperatures not going beyond 1.5 degrees centigrade. Because if it is not checked, then we will lose lot of ice. We will have extreme heat condition. If you are observing, the April month mid is very high temperature as compared to last year's or before last year's. There will be water scarcity. There will be global sea level rise, and this global sea level rise will eat out our coastal areas. To protect our coastal areas, this picture is from Goa. I have taken in 2013. This erosion of the coast is to be protected by putting concrete tetrapods and concrete blocks. for making concrete blocks and concrete tetrapods and then bringing them from the construction site to this site will result into lot of carbon dioxide emission. That is carbon footprint. So we are checking the cause of global warming, that is increase in carbon dioxide emission, by increasing carbon dioxide emission by our method of checking it. So this is the climate change issue. Now let's come to another issue. Which one is the bigger issue? Human-induced environmental disorders leading to earth pollution and degradation, or climate change? What is the bigger problem? Environmental disorders, the pollution of atmosphere, the pollution of water, the pollution of land. Which is going to be the more problematic? Climate change is going to affect us in a long term, but environmental pollution, environmental disorders, they are going to punish us immediately. Almost 100 people world over are dying every 30 minutes because of various kinds of diseases. You must be knowing. Every year there is a new disease. Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, coronavirus. This is all increasing. According to the global burden of diseases, 138 people per lakh have died in India due to the pollution. So what is the biggest issue? Death by breath. Death by breath. See the pollution level of NCR region. The pollution level around the Delhi. May it be PM 2.5 or any other pollutants. If you go to Ghaziabad, you cannot breathe as of today. But 7 years ago, everyone saw Delhi's air take a deadly U-turn, but no one did a thing. एक जमाना ऐसा आया था when we have changed from petrol and diesel to what you call gas, CNG. The pollution level has decreased. Pollution level has started decreasing from 2000 and it has decreased up to 2007. Then again it has started from 2008. Why? Because of government policy of giving loan to buy cars and four-wheelers and two-wheelers and whatnot. That has again changed whatever we have gained as far as Delhi is concerned or NCR is concerned. Now you must be knowing about the diabetes. India is a world capital of diabetes and it is going to be the world capital of cancer also. I got this newspaper cutting somewhere in 2015 in which it has showed that out of 10 most selling drugs in India, 5 were for diabetes. Now I could not find an answer that why India is diabetes capital. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? Today's newspaper, Dia Mirza. There is an article by Dia Mirza in today's Times of India. Air pollution indirect cause of death in respiratory ailments. Toxic air now suspected to increase breast cancer risk. Now she is asking, can air pollution or pollution as such can be a voting issue? India's first-time voters must ensure that clean air is a key poll issue. Who will listen? Nobody is going to listen. Agra is talking about, उन्होंने कट कर दिया, Agra should be talking about pollution. Now, another big issue of pollution is the land pollution. Land pollution because of waste, which we are creating from our houses, as well as from our industry, as well as from our shops, as well as from our what you call industries. We are creating lot of waste. So today's one of the biggest immediate problem is waste reduction and disposal. How to reduce waste and how to dispose the waste. In 2014, the government has launched Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. What for? Just to make our environment clean, our surrounding clean. Because cleanliness is the half what you call religion. So it was started in 2014 and 60,000 crore per year was given to Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Now it is up to you to see that how much it has succeeded. See around you, see around your house, see around your mohalla, see around your district, how much success it has been able to get. The issue of defecation in open, another big problem. 48% of population of India is going to defecate outside. And you can compare with the Afghanistan, Congo, Burundi, and Bangladesh. Very gloomy picture. This open defecation leads to pollution of water, pollution of soil, pollution of food, and malnutrition. So, fewer toilets, more diseases. So, government has launched a scheme for each and every person, especially in the village, in the rural India, to have toilet of their own. But people are not taking it seriously. People are not taking it seriously. They are taking money, they are making a structure like toilet, and they are using it as a store. So this is the problem. We need toilet as much we need food. We need toilet as much we need food. Now this is a black and white picture of Ghazipur landfill site, which has become a hill and it has failed. Just like landslide in the mountains, this garbage dump has failed and it has killed two people. It has shoved off a car and two motorcycles into Nala, which is flowing beside it. The problem is that the waste generation is so much that in Delhi itself we have at least 5 sites where the garbage has become a hill. You can see some pictures. See the pictures. So this is another big problem. Not only Delhi, the problem is with the Bangalore also, the problem with the Bombay also. The whole India has a problem of land and water pollution with highly toxic material. I got this statistics. The waste generation has increased from 2000 to 2015 in Delhi by 2075%. Just imagine, they have put a Qutub Minar to replicate this high 2075%, followed by Bangalore, 1750%. Then 105% Bombay, 60% Chennai, Ahmedabad 48%, Calcutta only 8.3%. What does this indicate? What does this shows? What does this indicate? What does this shows? Why Delhi and Bangalore has got the maximum waste generation? What could be the reason? We have to see that we should not create waste. Even if we have waste, we should keep it with us. We should store it and we should give to the hawkers which come for taking old raddi and old metals and whatnot. They are doing a very big service to the nation, to the society, to the humanity by coming to your house and buying your waste. The world has become highly materialistic, and this materialism has increased the waste generation. Nowadays, you can get anything at your house by online purchase with a lot of packaging. Lot of packaging means waste. Can you identify this person, this boy? Have you seen the comic strips of Dennis the Menace? What he is saying to his mother? Look like you need more feet, not more shoes. Nowadays, we have 5 to 6 or 7 pairs of shoes and sandals. In our childhood days, we used to have only one. So this is a big problem, the waste disposal. Disease caused by Meerut waste ground claims 22 lives. Should Meerut suffer to keep Ghaziabad clean? Because Ghaziabad is in NCR, so to clean Ghaziabad, the waste is being dumped to Meerut. You must have heard of a place in Delhi called Seelampur. Seelampur is a very dirty mohalla of Delhi. Why? Because 75% of people are in the business of what you call garbage urchins. They collect plastic and waste from the waste disposal sites and then they sell it. So they work in a very shabby condition. Ravish Kumar has once presented a talk and he said कि अगर if Delhi has to remain clean, then Seelampur has to remain dirty. अगर दिल्ली को साफ रखना है तो सीलमपुर को गंदा रहना होगा. Are we a filthy nation? Despite we are having Swachh Bharat Abhiyan with a very high vigor and force from 2014. We had similar kind of program before also. But from 2014, it was given very high attention and focus. But what is the result? Still, we have lot of waste around us. Are we a filthy nation? दिल्ली कूड़े के टाइम बम पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज ऑब्जर्व. जूही चावला ने काठमांडू में उठाया प्रदूषण का मुद्दा. अरे भाई अपने कंट्री में उठा लो प्रदूषण का मुद्दा, काठमांडू जाके क्यों उठा रही हैं? These two cover of India Today magazine, one of 1993 and another is 2014. What it says, can we clean the mess? और 2014 में यानी after 21 years again the cover story, dirty nation. Dirty nation. How Modi can deliver a clean India. So this is the problem. Can anybody identify the building which we have in the background? Which building we have in the background? Taj Mahal. Why Taj Mahal is famous? Why Taj Mahal is famous? Taj Mahal क्या है?
It's a place for visitors.
It's a
Seven
wonder.
wonders में से एक बार.
It's a wonder, okay? But what you see in the foreground, is it also a wonder? Just other bank of the Yamuna. What you can see? This is Swachh Bharat के बाद का मामला है. Now, I have shown you a slide in which out of 10 most selling drugs in India, 5 were of diabetes. Why? What causes diabetes? Maybe many different reasons, but the pollution. The study is now coming up that pollution is actually causing diabetes. It is playing with our metabolism, which is hampering our what you call insulin formation. And nobody can stop pollution. Pollution will reach not only to city, urban centers, but to the villages. My farmer who looks after my agriculture field is also a diabetic. He's of my same age and he is diabetic and he is living in a very remote area. But the pollution has reached there. Nobody can stop the pollution. And that's why diabetes everywhere. Diabetes everywhere. Now, if you can see the picture, Sardarji with his kids going to school, wrapped by chadar. Why? Because there is a lot of pollution because of crop burning, stubble burning in Punjab, which creates a hue and cry in Delhi and around. So if that stubble burning or parali burning can create problem to Delhi, how much problem it will be creating? It must be creating to Punjab people. But what we have done to counter the problem of air pollution, we have put on every chauraha the monitors. They will keep telling you the pollution level. But what it is going to help? How it is going to help? Just by knowing the pollution level. First create doom and then make boom. Now to check the pollution, the business community, the industries, they have come with a smoke tower. And they have put a smoke tower to different chaurahas in Ahmedabad, in Chandigarh, in Delhi, in Bangalore. But all have failed. So making money out of pollution. So what is my take? Garbage is a collector side. Garbage is a collector side. We should collect the garbage, especially the non-perishable one, to our place, keep it for a week, and only after a week we should dispose it directly to the vendors which come to our mohallas. Shun plastic. Shun plastic. Easy to say, but very difficult to act. Then another problem would I'd like to touch upon is drinking water. You must have heard of Bengaluru. There is a crisis of water. There is a crisis of water in Chennai. There is a crisis of water in many places in India. So we have to think very seriously about water, which is only 2.5%. Fresh water is only 2.5% of all the waters which we have in our hydrosphere. Out of this 2.5, 68.6 is beyond our reach because it is frozen as ice. Only 30.1% is in our reach, which is a groundwater. And this reach is not very easy because groundwater level is going down and down with time. Lakes and rivers which have water, all these waters are highly polluted, so they are of no use. So we have to think twice about the water. That water is a very precious material. We have to think twice and thrice before using it for many different purposes. We are using here is sprinkler to save water. Previously, when there was no sprinkler, we used to flood the field. एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट जो कंडक्ट कर रहा है इस प्रोग्राम को, उसके पड़ोस की पिक्चर है ये. We water our plants by taking water pipe and throwing it over the plants, washing them and whatnot. No, please think twice. Don't give water to the plants more than what they need, because water once come out from the groundwater system is wasted for always. जो पानी एक दफा जमीन से निकल आया वो पानी हमेशा के लिए वेस्ट हो गया. आजकल nowadays it is very easy to get the water bottle and distribute among the conference participants and any meeting and something like that. Very easy. But this one bottle, creation of this one bottle of water through RO results into wastage of 4 or 5 times of this much of water. So this is another big problem. There is a saying of Prophet that do not waste water even if you are at a running speed. आपको पानी वेस्ट करने का कोई हक नहीं है अगर आप नदी के पास भी खड़े हुए हैं. So water is a big issue which I wanted to let you know. Then we have a biodiversity. बायोडाइवर्सिटी, जितने ज्यादा भिन्नता होगी हमारी अर्थ पे, डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स की, डिफरेंट स्पेशीज की, उतनी ही ज्यादा हमारी सस्टेनेबिलिटी बढ़ेगी. Biodiversity is all the different kinds of life we find in one area. Variety of animals, plants, fungi, even microorganisms like bacteria make up our natural world. Now, biodiversity is being lost with time. With increasing agricultural activity, with increasing urbanization, with increasing infrastructure development, what is happening? Biodiversity is being lost. And once the biodiversity is lost, the ecology will be disturbed and sustainability will be lost. So, why the biodiversity is being lost? It is because of human beings, because of their unprecedented growth as far as construction of buildings are concerned, construction of roads are concerned, construction of airports are concerned. We are closing our eyes and going for the development and development and development, which is resulting into loss of biodiversity. A list has come out, a list has been pasted on the tree. What this list is all about? They are anxious to see if they made the latest endangered species list. तो बहुत सी लाइफ फॉर्म जो है वो लॉस्ट हो रही है. नाउ ग्लोबल वार्मिंग का एक और जो आफ्टर इफेक्ट है, दैट इज द फॉरेस्ट फायर. And this forest fire is because of increased global temperature. This is the news today, that where will the Uttarakhandi go when all the forests are burned out? With increasing global temperature, with less rain, the forests are being burned. And this results into loss of ecology also. Loss of ecology also. So we need to conserve biodiversity. One of our ex-vice chancellor, Professor P.K. Abdul Aziz, used to say that even a blade of grass is giving you oxygen. यानी ग्रास को जो हम उखाड़ के फेंक देते हैं विदाउट गिविंग अ थॉट, व्हाई, क्यों हम हटाएं उसको अगर वो हमें हार्म नहीं कर रही है. ग्रास का एक पत्ती भी हमें ऑक्सीजन देगी और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को एब्जॉर्ब करेगी. ठीक है, तो इसलिए वी शुड नॉट हार्म ट्रीज. नाउ कैन यू सी दिस पिक्चर? दिस इज फ्रॉम आवर यूनिवर्सिटी, माय फैकल्टी, इंजीनियरिंग फैकल्टी. I have taken two pictures, one in 2020 and another in 2022. Can anybody identify this tree? Can anyone identify this tree? कोई इस ट्री को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकता है कि कौन सा ट्री है ये? Anyone? Hurry up.
The left one.
Huh?
The left one.
We call it Ashoka tree. We call it Ashoka tree. Am I right? What is the real size of Ashoka tree? What is the real size of the Ashoka tree? How big an Ashoka tree is? How big an Ashoka tree is? It is a huge tree. But what we have done with this tree? Is it good to do this? Please answer in yes or no. Is it good to cut this tree like this? No. But in our university we do this. And the picture 2020 and 2022, the two trees have died. See, what is going to give oxygen to us and what is going to absorb carbon dioxide? It is the tree leaves. It is the tree leaves. Now again see the picture. Two same trees, same location. You can see all the leaves are torn. All the leaves are torn by pedestrians. Pedestrians, when they move, they pluck out the tree leaf. But when there was a lockdown, all the leaves, they became perfect. Can you make out this? Are you able to see this?
Yes, yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
so it is very common that when we move, we just turn a leaf. Why? We should not do it. See, this is a road going to my college. During lockdown period, the plants they have taken over the footpath. The footpath, which was raised footpath to move, it was taken over by plant on both the side, left and right. I am putting both the pictures. So if we allow the trees and plants, they will regain. But we need to give them chance. We need to give them chance. So we have lot of responsibility. We do not have to do anything which is going to have some carbon footprint. We should minimize it. We should use less paper. We should not waste paper. We should not unnecessarily print. There are many ways which individual can do. And bindu bindu se sindhu bana hai, sindhu sindhu se sagar. From drop by drop, you can make river, and by putting river together, you make sea. Where is the solution? Who is going to give us solution? Who will solve this problem? Never-ending parallels within society, within regions, within country, between the country, amongst the country, diverse interest group. Where is the solution? It is the kids of 9th and 10th class who have started fighting for the climate, because they are saying that the future of the children of today is not there. If the pollution and the global warming increases as it is increasing today, there is no future for the kids which are getting born today. Greta Thunberg from Sweden, she started every Friday a strike in Sweden so that people start taking action. So lot of groups all over the world, especially students, they have started. Apart from them, there are some climate activists. For example, a climate activist used drones to shut UK airport. The maximum carbon footprint is by air travel. Man walked 700 kilometers backward to highlight deforestation. People are dying to protect environment. Every 4 person killed every week in 2017 who were trying to defend the environment. Mr. David Buckle, who was senator in US, he said that this burning fossil fuel will burn the world. What he has done, he has poured petrol over him and lit the match. And he died by burning, to prove that the earth will also get burned out because of use of what you call fuel. So there are a lot of issues. If you go through the newspapers, you will hear, you will see what an individual can do. We normally observe these different dates for different earth-related or environment-related or pollution-related issues. But observance of single day is not going to suffice the purpose. We have to think on each and every issue on each and every day. We as a teacher have the biggest responsibility. Keep something growing in your house, in your place. Don't unnecessarily cut the tree. Don't unnecessarily turn the leaf. Put some pot in your house, inside, outside, but not the plastic pots. Solar energy is coming in a big way to be think as the savior for environmental issues. Churches run on solar energy. This is a solar plant in our university. We have one of the biggest solar plant in any university in India. Cycling. 650,000 cycles are there in Copenhagen, which has population of 6 lakhs. Means they have 50,000 extra cycle. Anybody can use any cycle, can go anywhere. But we have forgotten how to ride the bicycle. We have forgotten how to ride the bicycle. Now, can anybody tell about this picture? Can anybody comment on this picture? What is this? What are these? Can anybody connect with this picture?
Cycles which are no
They're
longer
all
in use.
bicycles,
Cycles which are?
No longer
which
in
are not
use.
in use.
Why? Why they are no longer in use?
People have got other modes of transportation, bikes.
You see, when COVID was there, when people from Punjab and Haryana, they fled, they fled by bicycle, they came to Saharanpur, and from Saharanpur, trains were arranged to take them to their respective districts and states. So they have left their cycles, and we have a huge graveyard of the cycle in Saharanpur. This we have a water treatment plant in our university which runs without use of any energy. This is being done by using natural process of water cleaning. So we are cleaning in our university our wastewater. This is our sewage water treatment plant, and you can see that our dirty gray water is being cleaned as a clean water. This is under our Department of Civil Engineering, which we are doing here. And this is my place, my kitchen, in which I have two buckets, one yellow and one red. Whatever waste is coming out from RO, I collect it and I use it for flushing, I use it for bathing, I use it for washing clothes, and I use it for irrigating my plants. So if you have lot of plants, try to irrigate them with the waste water which is coming out of RO. This is the biggest water guzzling industry, that is RO water. It has put lot of harm to our groundwater resources. Our perhaps second president, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, he once gave this statement that human beings is nothing more than the latest of a long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science threatens us with the possibility of its extinction. राधा कृष्णन साहब ये कह रहे हैं कि हो सकता है कि ये दुनिया बनाई गई हो सिर्फ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स के लिए, लेकिन ये ह्यूमन बीइंग्स जो हैं और उनके साइंटिस्ट जो हैं और उनके जो टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट हैं और उनके जो इंडस्ट्रिस्ट हैं, वो इस अर्थ को फिनिश कर देंगे, इस ह्यूमैनिटी को फिनिश कर देंगे, खुद को फिनिश कर देंगे और साथ में दूसरे लाइफ फॉर्म को भी फिनिश कर देंगे. Till now, 5 extinctions have taken place. अब तक 5 mass extinction हो चुके हैं, in which life up to 85% have been lost. First was in 444 million years back. Second was 375 million years back. Third was 251 million years back. Fourth was 200 million years back. And the last one, the fifth one, was 66 million years back, when dinosaur got extinct. With the dinosaur, another animal got extinct, which is called as ammonite, which has got extinct from the ocean. Dinosaur got extinct from the land. तो ये 5 extinctions हो चुके हैं. Now we are heading towards the 6th extinction. A book, a very good book, written by Elizabeth Colbert. If you can get this book and read, we are going towards the 6th extinction, and the 6th extinction is not a natural one. The previous 5 extinctions, they were the natural extinctions. This is the extinction brought by humanity. Global warming is going to stay. So people are writing and publishing book that how to overcome this global warming, how to survive the power cuts, how to survive the shortage of water, how to survive the climate change. So there is another interesting book one can read. Plastic. There is a ban on use of plastic. If some thela wala is caught by using plastic, he is fined. But we are putting plastic flowers in our houses, and even we are watering it also. So think that what we are doing. This is a picture which I have taken on uh, April 10th from Fortis Escort Hospital, Delhi. There is a huge picture which are trying to show the lungs and putting some vegetation and all those. Okay, love your city, make it greener. Are you able to see this picture? And can you make out that what it wants to convey? Yes or no, just?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see the next picture from the same hospital. What is this? Can anybody identify? Can anybody identify? What are these?
Plants.
These are plastic plants.
Oh.
They have put in the Fortis-like hospital the plastic plants. Whom they are cheating? They are cheating themselves. Just imagine. How can we think that humanity will work for taking care of the earth by putting plastic plants? Aligarh city, a smart city. This wall is being decorated with the plastic grass. And Apua Thelawala, if he is using a plastic, what you call packet, he is caught and fined. But Aligarh city, the government is using the plastic to decorate the wall. So this is called the paradox. This is called the paradox. This is called the paradox. And if paradoxes are to be here, we cannot hope anything good. Rajan Habib Khwaja, an IAS officer, ex-secretary, Ministry of Environment, ex-MD Coal India, he came to AMU and he gave a lecture. And what he has said, there is a proverb, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." If we have life, then there is a world. He said that we should change it to "Jahan hai to jaan hai." अगर वर्ल्ड ही नहीं रहेगा तो जान रह के क्या करेगी? जान है तो जहान है, चेंज टू जहान है टू जान. And one Mr. Shahid has put this couplet, घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे कागजी और पर्दों पर प्रिंटेड तितलियां रह जाएंगी. We will not be able to see the real what you call butterflies. Rather, printed on our curtain. So everything is linked. Climate change is linked with the biodiversity. Biodiversity is linked with the recession. Recession is linked with the sustainability. Sustainability is linked with the COVID and whatnot. Thank you. Last slide. The founder of our university, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, was lampooned in 1881 and he was called as Naturey Jogi. उनके कार्टून 1881 में बने थे by showing him that he is living amongst snakes and thorny shrubs, cactus. See, this person who has written the first book on archaeology, known as Asarus Sanadir, and he was the person who was thinking about ecology somewhere in 1881. Thank you. If you have any query, if you have any question, please. So I have kept.
सर बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, जज़ाकल्लाह.
जी.
So I
सर मैं
have a
आपके लिए
query.
इतना ही कहूँगा.
जी.
सर मैं आपके लिए इतना ही कहूँगा कि क्या लज्जते तकरीर खुदा ने दी है, क्या लज्जते तकरीर खुदा ने दी है, क्या नुदरते तफसीर खुदा ने दी है, वो सहर वो एजाज कयामत वाला अंदाज में तासीर खुदा ने दी है.
Very many thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question, sir, with the permission.
Yes, yes.
So you talked about the paradox that rich people and the corporate culture, they are using plastics and they are not fined, but when the same thing is done by poor people, they are fined. Now,
Yes.
I would like to extend this with developed countries and developing countries. We keep on talking about global warming and carbon footprints, but if you look at the data, the US export of fossil fuels over the last 40 years has increased. This is on record. So US at the one time is developing countries to reduce their carbon emission, but US is increasing its fossil. How do we relate that? That is my first question. Second is because I come from my field is also SOx emission. My area of research is this. So if you look at the data given by US Earth Observatory, it is online. I can share the link in the chat box. It says over the past 40 years, the level of ice over the Antarctica has increased. Now, this is something where the model given by the scientists and the observation, they are contradicting. Because if there is a rise in the temperature, then the level of ice should have gone down and it should have melted. But it is on record that since last 40 years, the level of ice has gone up in Antarctica. So how do we relate that? And my third point is this was the article published by IIT Kharagpur. It's on also published in India Today. It is online. It says the pollution created by electric vehicles are more than what is done by conventional fossil fuel based vehicles. So what I think is that since the West has got a technological advantage over the developing countries, they are trying to impose their technology over us, because this study was jointly done by Japanese scientists, and they have also concluded that the pollution done by electric vehicles are more than what is done by conventional vehicles. Your input and remarks, sir. Thank you.
You see, electric vehicles, let's take the last question first. Electric vehicles need electricity. From where the electricity will come? Electricity will come either from hydropower or from burning coal or from burning diesel. So if you are burning coal and diesel, somewhere pollution is happening. If not happening to your city, somewhere it is happening. Number two, if you see the Europe and America, who have polluted first, and now they are asking the third world countries to check their pollution level and check the carbon dioxide emission. You see, out of 20 most polluted cities in India, 14 were in world, 14 were in India. So if we just ignore the call of Europe and America that you reduce the carbon dioxide emission, we will be suffering first of all our population. If we go on increasing the carbon dioxide emission, the Americans, they are not going to suffer immediately. It is the Indians, it is those city people who are living in that area will be suffering first. So we should forget that they have polluted, they should pay. Yes, they should, but if they are not paying, then still we have to save ourselves. Okay. And there was one more question about that is a ice issue. So sometimes a study comes that ice is increasing, sometimes it is coming that it is decreasing. The latest is that a huge ice shelf has got broken from the Antarctica shelf and now it has started drifting. That is the immediate answer to melting of ice. Okay. So in scientific community, some tazads are there. Now sometimes what happens, for example, Dubai flood, which has come up, people are indirectly saying that it is because of the cloud seeding they used to do. That has increased this problem. The Dubai flood which has come, it was a big cyclonic star, huge cyclonic star, which was up to Azerbaijan. And its one end was up to Aligarh and Agra. 4 days, 5 days before we had rain in Aligarh and Agra region. When I checked the satellite picture, it was of same cyclonic development which has developed over the West Asia. And that has caused very heavy rain. So what happens when you increase the pollution, when you increase the particulate matter into the atmosphere, they also act as a seeding for the formation of ice. So sometimes temporarily the ice formation may increase. How glacier increase in their size? Because of more snowfall, less melting. And if there is a more melting, less snowfall, the glacier will start receding, their thickness will start decreasing. So there are some studies which are giving another picture also, and there are some studies which are directly hitting the issue which we are facing nowadays. Hope I have answered.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Babas.
Thank you. So, okay, thank you. Now I am closing the session and I will share. I am going to share your this presentation to your office address, so you can get it from the uh, HRDC. Okay. Thank you.
Assalamu
Walaikum Assalam.
दोनों ना ओके ओके शुक्रिया